Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have an update regarding the divorce filing from Bryan Abasolo to Rachel Lindsay yesterday. He filed in court that he wants to divorce and cited irreconcilable differences, asked for spousal support, and some are reporting asked for her to pay his attorney fees. I'm not sure how much of that is true. I have not seen the documents, but we are going to share what's going on. Rachel deletes Bryan. Now, she hasn't made a grand gesture. We don't really know what's going on over there. She could be mounting some sort of response. Maybe she's going to take the high road. No clue. But what we do know is, since last night, she's deleted Abasolo from her Instagram. Rachel Lindsay Abasolo. Now she's back to Rachel Lindsay. Now, divorce proceedings probably take some time, but they don't have any kids, so you'd think it wouldn't take too much time. I'm going to share with you in this video a few thoughts from people in Bachelor Nation about what's going on here, and a very interesting one, actually, from the Vile Files podcast. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes bonus content. I'll be live with you guys at 10:30 a.m. this morning, and also Bachelor Rush Hour, the morning and afternoon podcast. We'll have more on this on the Bachelor Rush Hour. So, like I said, no word here on her Instagram bio, but she does say know your worth, but she said that before. And there was also maybe some hints that the relationship wasn't going great. She was recently on, right here. She was recently on Nick Vile's podcast. And now I'm going to play for you the clip. And this is the actual moment where his co-host and co-partner here, his pregnant fiance, Natalie Joy, realizes that they did break up. So we get to see it in real time here. Let's go to Dr. Diane and see what she has to say about the breakup. Good friend of the program here, knows her way around the psychology about relationships.
On our Bachelorette, Rachel Lindsay. Husband Bryan Albaso just filed for divorce after 4 years of marriage. You have to wonder if she was blind sad. She was just on Nick Vile's podcast talking about wanting to conceive a child and how hard it is, at the same time, how much time they spent apart. Or other stressors, like long ago the comment she should have chosen Peter Krause instead. Bryan's statement that's reading messy, that he's such a family man, his parents happily married, as if he had no choice but to leave to save himself. Despite Bryan being a chiropractor, having a career of his own, and no kids, is asking for spousal support.
What?
Is anyone checking on our Bachelorette, Rachel Lindsay? Husband Bryan Albaso just... All
right, so anyway, there you go. Good words here from Dr. Diane. As far as Bryan Abasolo is concerned, I don't know. I don't understand how the finances work. If she was bringing in more money, is he entitled to that? If it were the other way around, would we be okay with spousal support? I truly don't know. We're going to find out more information there, but let's go to the moment at the end of today's episode of Nick Vile's podcast, the moment they realize, oh my gosh, we have a breaking news story. You love to see it. Have a watch.
That corner, I would love that.
But I would love,
there
what
she
was
is.
it, from your point of view, what?
Rachel Lindsay and Bryan Abasolo file for divorce.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
What?
11 minutes ago. Allie just sent it to me.
I've got the breaking news for them.
Oh my God.
If they don't have the breaking
She's just
news.
here.
She was just here. Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
She was just here, and she literally was just like, "Yeah, like we're great." Like because I was
you
like,
don't expect anyone to.
No, I guess
say otherwise when they're not.
No, I know, but like, oh my God.
I mean, if she would have came on here and said, "Well, like,"
we're probably gonna file for divorce soon.
or even if she was like, like relationships are really hard, and who knows what the future holds.
I will say, I think it's interesting. So it's an E-News post that just broke 10 minutes ago, and it phrases it, Bryan files for divorce from Rachel.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
So she might have been blindsided?
Possible. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Their date of separation was Sunday, December 31st. He is also requesting spousal support from her.
What?
Happy New Year.
He's requesting spousal support.
And again, at this point, we don't know anything further. Again, I'm not defending him. I have no idea. I mean, it looks like bad optics for sure, but I'm waiting for a lawyer to weigh in here and tell me, well, yeah, it's common that when you file for these things, you check these boxes. No idea.
What do we think of that?
How long have they been together?
A couple years. Well, I mean, they met in 2017. on the show.
Married for 4.
What does he do?
He's a
Chiropractor, right?
chiropractor.
I mean, you know that she's more successful than him. It's not shocking. It's giving Ariana Grande filing for spousal support from Dalton, and it was just like, in what world?
Literally.
You know?
Come on, babe.
You know, like she's worth like $20 million, but okay, yeah.
She asked for spousal
support, and he's like worth
from
like
him?
3. That was like on the divorce paper filings.
Is that just like a lawyer thing?
Maybe it's like a security thing.
This is what I'm wondering. Like, at least Nick's asking, like, is this a lawyer thing? Like, he doesn't know. We don't know. But it will be interesting if there was something that seriously went down. Again, there are 0 rumors of infidelity or things like that. But say Bryan was so angry towards Rachel that he wanted to stick it to her in every single way. Maybe, oh, I want her attorney's fees. I want this, whatever. I don't know if that's the case. It could get super messy. It could be the craziest story of the month or the year. As far as we know right now, that's not the case. No word from Rachel. We will have breaking news updates. The alerts are turned on if we do hear from her.
Where I'm like, even if you don't actually go through with it, I don't know. I don't know if it's a power move. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, obviously she makes more money than him. So, and when somebody gets used to a certain lifestyle, I just do think it's wild that you're just kind of like, well, I was used to spending their money, and now that I'm not getting that,
I still
legally.
Of course, but by the way, that wasn't said. So yeah, in this case, that wasn't said. We have no idea other than the initial filing.
I know Natalie and I are on the heels of a marriage, and we love sharing everything.
Yeah, even Stanley Cups, obviously.
Yeah, even Stanley Cups. But like 2 successful people in their own right, doing their own thing,
Right.
having no kids, can't you just like handshake and just kind of be like, hey, all right, good luck. All right.
I think the only way you would ask for spousal support is if you helped the spouse out with their career. I don't think that's the case here. Although I guess Bryan could argue that Rachel has a career because of The Bachelor, which we got married on. I don't think that's a good argument. But say Bryan left his job to help elevate her career, and she went from making $200K as a lawyer to $1 million as an influencer. Say he's behind the scenes helping her with every unboxing and deal. If that were the case, then you might say, hey, I think now that we're breaking apart, I am deserving of some of your salary. I don't know if that's the case there, but that's the argument I think one could make.
She's the best.
Yeah, wish you the best. And like not ask for each other's money.
Well, funny thing that you say that, because I, for the longest time, was like, as growing up, I was like, I don't ever want to get married. I want to be like Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. And I've come to find that they are the exception, not the rule.
Oh.
And after Scandival, seeing 2 people who have been together for a decade, just living in a house together, having babies on ice, and seeing how complicated breaking up has been, sharing assets and things like that, I'm like, Connor, we're not doing anything until you put a ring on it.
Yeah.
Like literally, like by a state, because I'm like, California specifically, we don't recognize domestic partnerships. So it's kind of what Lala said in the reunion. She was like, oh, I'm sure the court will care that you feel like you're married. They don't. They don't care. Even if you've been together for however long. So that's where I'm like, having everything set in stone, and even having the paperwork that's like, hey, if we break up, you leave with what you came with. Like, you know what I mean? And having that set in stone, and it's an agreement beforehand, because I think...
So this is all good, but this doesn't apply to them because they are married. Rachel is a lawyer, so I don't think she's going to be treading carefully. And, if... Listen, when a breakup happens, it's almost rarely 50-50 mutual. Usually somebody wanted it to work more than others. And in this case, there are many complications, right? We had Bryan Abasolo wants babies. I think Rachel Lindsay also wanted babies. And then you get that career thing where you go, I want babies, but I want to pursue the career. You can do both, but one will have to, take priority for a certain amount of time, right? So it can be complicated. Now, with her career now as a podcaster, I mean, you could have babies, but my point being, in certain jobs, maybe you would take a longer maternity leave because you don't want to go to work versus, I don't know, say podcasting from your home. You know what I mean? So there are all these questions that you have to have. Where do I want my life to go? Where are we going to live? All these things. And for whatever reason that we don't know yet with Bryan and Rachel, it didn't work out. If he wanted babies, maybe they got to a point where she goes, I need one more year. And he goes, I need them now. And that was the point of contention. Again, we don't know. It's important to say, if we are going to speculate, that we're not going to assume any of this is true. It could be that he's the biggest piece of shit in the world. You know, that could be the case. My guess is it's not, because they were married for a good bit and your true colors show faster than 4 years. So my guess is they're both good people trying their best, and whatever this irreconcilable difference is, obviously it was enough that they were able to not work it out. We don't know that she was blindsided yet. She could have been living apart for a long time. Well, I'm sure she won't lie about that, because I'm sure they both want the truth to be out there.
Breakups are messy. Divorce, I'm sure, is extremely messy, but I'm like, having two people share life together for a decade without any type of protection involved. I mean, there's no limits.
Truly.
You know?
So he filed for divorce on December 31st.
No, on the 2nd.
That was the date of separation listed.
He filed on the 2nd.
Sounds abrupt.
A lot of speculating. I feel bad. Maybe we should just text her.
Wow, Natalie, the voice of reason. A lot of speculating. I feel bad. Let's wait. Of course, they're friends with Rachel. I would have loved to have Rachel on Driving with Dave. People think I might have a loyalty to Bryan over her because he did Driving with Dave. Rachel just never responded to me. I have talked to her. I think she's, at least in the past, has said she liked some of the work I was doing. I don't know. I don't know where she stands with me. Maybe she hates me, or maybe I'm just not big enough. I sometimes it's not that I don't like you. It's just like it would be a waste of her time to come hang out with me because I don't have a big enough following. That's fine too. That happens. Either way, boy, there's going to be a lot more to this story.
Yeah.
We wish her the best.
We do.
A little bit more than Bryan. I mean, we wish them both the best, but I'm more friends with Rachel.
He's more friends with Rachel. I wouldn't want this to be toxic or ugly from a human standpoint, but from a content creator standpoint, boy, when the gloves come off, when the dust settles on Jason Tartick and Caitlin Bristow, somebody's going to get scorned, or there's always going to be someone who feels like the other person got a better quote unquote edit. If everyone sides with Rachel, Bryan might be like, no, you don't know the half of it, or vice versa. We just don't know. But very interesting stuff as we find out. And by the way, I mean, I'm literally, as I'm recording this, I've been refreshing, just waiting to see if we have an update, and it just hasn't come yet. Wouldn't it be great to get that breaking news story right now? My guess is, because we haven't gotten an update yet, that it might be a little bit. Normally when couples break up on mutual terms, they release a mutual statement just so they don't have to deal with he said, she said. Let's put it out together, let's approve it, and then let's step back and go on vacations and go bang some random people. Let's get on Bumble, let's go on Raya, let's shag a chef, you know what I mean? Like, do whatever the hell you want. You're single now, right? But either way, my forecast here, Weatherman Dave, is that it's about to get pretty stormy out there. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be live on Patreon at 10:30 a.m. with more content, and every afternoon, the free podcast, Bachelor Rush Hour. We tie it all together. We'll be back right after this.